there were loads of reports that you'd been sacked.
But I spoke to the UFC and Dana, I'm suffering bad with injuries and I'm taking stupid fights. And they were like, Till, we'll support you. And I was like, no, I was like, give me time off from the UFC now.
Going back to the UFC, you win 6-7 fights in the bouts, you get the title fight. Did you feel ready for it at the time?
Yeah and no. I feel like I've had this conversation loads with very close people, my friend who I've brought as well, and I feel like technically I was ready, but I feel like in mature years and just because of like how fast the rise happened, it was just, maybe there was a few like pinpoints that could have just, if I'd waited a year, maybe things could have went different. But I've never been a coulda, woulda, shoulda, or if, buts, regrets. I've always been I'm not a guy, it happens for a reason, there's a bigger picture. I'm just a guy that it's happened, I'm not going to have regrets. I went through an experience and that was it. So maybe if I'd waited a year, things could have been different. Maybe that. And
then how does it feel now that obviously you got the title fight, you got so close, but I mean, you know, you said you're not done yet, but you didn't quite go over the line. Does that eat at you, thinking I could have?
A little bit, but what I will say is, I remember for that fight camp as well, I literally gave it me all. Like there was no stone unturned, cutting weight, training. I was in the best shape I've ever been in my life. So yeah, there is a little bit of the tiniest bit of coulda, woulda, shouldas. You know, we all look back on our past. I look back on that fight, and yeah. But you know what? As I say to you, I'm still in the moment now. I've still got loads to give and prove, and as long as I know my story's not over and I've still got this and that to do, my whole experience from getting stabbed, from being a little naughty kid in school, from knowing that I've come through all of this, and even now at 31 I've done it on my own. Like I'm quite proud of myself.
Yeah.
I had people along the way, me coaches, certain friends, certain families and members, but ultimately I know that when I was travelling to these countries all on my own, there was no partner with me, no one was with me. That was all me, trying to survive in Brazil with a daughter, but still trying to make it to UFC. I could have just dared and went, I've got a daughter now, I need to just take focus there. But I was like, no, okay, well, this is the next level. So there's been a lot.
After the title fight, your results weren't as good as they had been before the title fight. Was that because of who you were fighting? Was that a bit of a hangover from the title fight loss?
Yeah, I think I had a little bit of a hangover, yeah. I think at that point in my career, the training was getting a little bit much. I was suffering quite a lot with injuries, but I wasn't taking time to sort of like heal and that. So I was rushing into fights. I think I was probably still chasing the title. I was like, no, I can get it right away.
Because I guess because you just had a title, and that does often happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Someone loses a title fight, they win a couple of fights, they're back in one.
So in my head, I was like, no, I can get this. I feel like if I'd give myself more time, matured a little bit, I'm still suffering now, with injuries.
Yeah.
I probably could have done things different, but I remember I spoke to the UFC and Dana and his partner Hunter, and I was like, listen, this isn't sort of going to plan at the moment. I'm suffering bad with injuries and I'm taking stupid fights that I shouldn't be taking. And they were like, Till, we'll support you. Like, we still fully believe in you. If you want to come out here for the year, and we'll put you in all our like programs, etc. And I was like, no, give me time off from the UFC now. And to this day, I'm thinking I'm only like of 1, 2 or 3 who they've actually released from a contract. Like, they don't just regularly do that, but I went about it the right ways, the right avenues. I was like, listen, I'm not going to sign with another MMA organisation. I'm going to give me body time. I said, in a few years, I'll be back if you'll have me. And they were like, Till, the door's always open. We think you're a stand-up guy. We love you. You're a great guy for the company. There you go. So,
because I remember you said in interviews near the time, this is about a year ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roughly. You said that you'd asked to be released, but there were loads of reports at the time that you'd been cut from the UFC, that you'd been sacked. That must have been frustrating.
So that was like what Hunter told me. I was very annoyed. Hunter's Dana's partner. So I'd spoke to him, and then he said it got leaked out of something to do with some algorithm or something like that. And I was like, Hunter, just do me one favour then. Can you release something just to say that I haven't been cut, that I've asked to be released? And he was like, I'll sort something out. But I remember seeing all the reports, and I didn't even reply to one. I was just like, social media wins again. So,
Right.
but yeah, that was the way it went, and I was happy with the way I was let go. I've still, literally the other day, I was speaking to Hunter about a guy who was asking me to speak to them on behalf of getting in the UFC, and I've still got a great relationship with them, and just as long as I know that door's still open, good for me.
So what does the future hold? I remember, again, watching an interview nearer the time when you were released from UFC, you were talking about your knees weren't in great shape and you need some time to fix those. How are they doing, and what's your future plans for fights?
So I obviously, I took an extensive, but I went and done like extensive research on like stem cell and stuff like that. I'd actually paid quite a substantial amount to like, I tried a lot of different ones. Actually, I tried one here in London where they take your blood out of your knee, they spin it in a machine, it's like becomes new blood, and they pop it back in. So I tried all these like, and it has gotten better. My knees have gotten better. I feel stronger. I've given myself time to get healthy. I haven't just been in the gym every day just going.
Yeah.
I've had my days off here and there, which I feel's helped. So they're good. I feel good. I'm because I've had like a year and a half off, I'm more than ready to fight. I probably could have fought last year, and I probably could have fought at the start of this year, but the problem is, because when I left UFC, I said I'm not going to sign with another MMA organisation. I'm probably going to try my hand at boxing and stuff like that, because striking's always been like my strong background. A lot of promotions offered, there was a lot of fights offered to me. At one point Logan Paul got offered, Jake Paul, stuff like that, but I just wanted to bide my time, get the best offer for me financially on the best platform. We're all in my favour for once. So in just a few weeks, I'm going to have fight news. It's going to be
interesting.
It's going to be good fight news. I'm going to fight probably 3 or 4 times this year, all in boxing.
Wow, okay.
Hopefully 1 or 2 of them are going to be really big fights, what people have been waiting for. And then that the show on the road with boxing goes. Then I've been in the gym for a year and a half now in the Rotunda boxing gym with big superstars like Liam Smith, Josh Taylor, and all them are looking forward to it, and I'm more than like ready. It's probably not going to be in England as well. It's going to be somewhere out way. I don't know.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Is there any details? Can you give any details around? Are these going to be against like influencers, like you mentioned, Logan Paul, Jake Paul?
Yeah,
or?
Influencers, fighters. Like it's going to be a slash, because at the end of the day, it's good and bad. But if I'm sat here looking at doing a professional boxing fight, let's say getting paid 30-40 grand for that, and then looking at these influence fights where they're all generating millions, I'm a big name as well. It's a no-brainer to take them types of fights. So they're the fights we're targeting. Your Tommy Furies, your Jake Pauls. Obviously, the biggest fight I want is Mike Perry. Me and him are destined to fight. It's about, how long in the making now? 2018, 24, 6 years. Masvidal was talking the other day about fighting me, getting that rematch.
Yeah.
So on home soil as well, he said he'd come to Liverpool. So these are all massive fights that I am. As soon as I have my first fight now announced, I'm going to be chasing all of that.
This was just a small clip from my over 1 hour conversation with UFC star Darren Till. If you want to watch the full interview, you can do so right here.